Hi everyone! I hope the first week of the semester has been gentle to all of you. My name is Justin Nguyen, and I'm a junior in the AIM covering International Consumer Discretionary. For my first ever stock pitch in the AIM, I will be presenting Fever Tree Drinks PLC. To begin with, I would like to share my screening process and how I came about picking Fever Tree. What I was looking for was a company that has strong potential growth in an expanding market on top of solid financials. And Fever Tree just stood out to me as I came across it looking at the fund. So what does this company do? It engages in the manufacturing of premium carbonated mixers that go along with your spirits to make mixed drinks like cocktails. Their products include tonic water, ginger beer, ginger ale, and spring soda water, and they are sold through two channels, on-trade and off-trade. The majority of revenues are derived from the UK, the US, and Europe. They have very low debt and high EBITDA margin of 30%. Fever Tree was founded in 2004 and was listed on the London Stock Exchange in 2014, and their headquarters is in London, the United Kingdom. Now, onto my recommendation. As good as the spirits are, the mixers also play a critical role in determining the quality of the drink. And Fever Tree produces some of the world's best mixers over the years, with some signature products include the best-selling premium Indian tonic water brand to capture 40% of market share mixers in the UK. In North America, the company also experiences tremendous success as their ginger beer became the top seller thanks to the popularity of the Moscow Mule drink. Fever Tree generated $345 million in fiscal year 19 and recorded a 4-year CAGR of 45% for sales and net income growth. The company has a very well-established brand across the globe, and they are very well positioned to capitalize on the premiumization trend in alcoholic beverages industry. Therefore, it is recommended that Fever Tree be added to the AIM International Fund at a target price of $36.90, representing a potential upside of 16.58%. Now, onto driver number 1, the great resurgence back home. Even though Fever Tree saw its incredible rise in the UK, the past 2 years have not been very positive, as the company experienced a decline in sales growth of 1% in fiscal year 19 due to political and economic unrest that affect consumers' confidence. And the pandemic just added salt to the wound, as on-trade sales went down by 61% for the first half of 2020, year over year. However, as vaccines are being distributed and lockdown orders expected to be lifted in mid of 2021, Fever Tree's on-trade sales is likely to boom by 30%, recovering an estimated half of the loss the company would suffer in 2020. Additionally, the company can capitalize on the off-trade sales growth of 24% and the successful launch of their premium soda product to generate an overall sales growth of 25% in the UK. This will help the company get back to the sales level they generated in fiscal year 19 and to produce momentum for another solid growth period at home. Move on to our second driver, Beyond the Borders establishment. In 2018, Fever Tree made a big decision to take control of its own network and operations in the US, thus establishing Fever Tree USA. This allowed more flexibility for the company to explore the market. Examples include the partnership with Southern Glazer's Wine and Spirits, the largest spirits distributor in the States. Despite of the pandemic, Fever Tree saw its off-trade sales in the US almost double during the month leading up to mid-April and May. It is expected that the company would thrive even further as the on-trade sales grow in 2021, since the pandemic would cool down. The company is also implementing the same strategy in the Europe market as it acquired Global Drinks Partnership, a German beverage distributor and sales agent. The acquisition would provide Fever Tree an incremental brand revenue of $12 million annually. The company is in a really good position to obtain shares in the global premium spirits market worth of $107 billion with growth at a CAGR of 10.3% through 2027. On to our last drivers. New drinks, new fun. FQVT has been very successful in launching its new product to the consumers. In its recent product release of sparkling pink grapefruit, tailored to the US tequila market worth of $6 billion, has been very successful. That contributes to the sales growth of 39%. Additional formats plan to be launched in 2021. And since FQVT pursues its outsourced business model, very few capital expenditures are required, while it can capitalize on the gross margin of 50%. Thus, a 5% increase in total sales that come from these formats would result in an incremental $9 million in operating income per year. And on to our valuation. In order to value FQVT, I used the DCF method with a WACC of 7.81% and a terminal growth rate of 2% to arrive at the intrinsic value of $39.39. A sensitivity analysis is also conducted with plus or minus 50 basis points to arrive at the range of $34.20 to $46.65. I also used the PE multiple method to arrive at the relative value of $34.79 with using the multiple of 62. And lastly, I also used the EV to EBITDA multiple method, and the value of $27.38 was derived using the multiple of 32.63. I weight these 70, 15, and 15 in respective order to arrive at the intrinsic value of $36.90. With regard to risk, FQVT has to be aware of its competition. Since the premium spirits and premium mixers are growing at a very fast pace, FQVT faces rising competition from other mixers brands that can produce the mixers differently at cheaper prices, thus may affect the company's market share and expected growth. Additionally, they have to be aware of potential outsourced production disruption. The company is dependent on many outsourced production and bottling partners, suppliers, warehousing services, and distribution agents, any of which may affect the pace of production. Last but not least, FQVT has a strong international presence, with half of its revenue is generated outside of the UK. The company, thus, is likely to experience unfavorable currency exchange movements that affect its revenue. With regard to management, Tim Warrillow and Charles Rose are the two founders of FQVT, with Mr. Warrillow also served as the CEO, while Mr. Bill Ronald has been the chairman of the company since 2013. In conclusion, FQVT Drinks is a leader in the premium mixers industry that possesses strong and sustainable growth. It still has a lot of room to thrive in the UK and the US market. In addition to great downside protection, thanks to its solid financials. Thank you for listening, and if you have any question, please don't hesitate to let me know via D2L in our live Q&A section on Friday.